Creating a great e-commerce brand is one thing, but on the other hand, having a great and thriving fashion brand is far from being an easy process. In today's video, I want to share with you what makes up a great fashion brand and what you should focus on early on in the creation of your fashion e-commerce brand. My name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, as well as turn on post notifications to be one of the first to know about these cutting edge e-commerce marketing tips posted on the channel every week. So this video idea came to me when I was on a demo call with actually a subscriber from this channel a few days ago, which we were talking about an opportunity potentially partnering up together, which by the way, link is going to be in the description down below for that. But nonetheless, we were chatting about what made up a great fashion brand. This guy actually owned a fashion brand, and then we were kind of talking back and forth about, their numbers and what they were doing with the brand. But ultimately, it came down to a simple thing, which was branding. What's different about a fashion e-commerce brand as opposed to any regular direct-to-consumer brand is that, let's take an example of a skincare brand that fixes a direct problem. Whereas, you have acne, you have pimples, you have something visible, an apparent issue, and you're using a skincare product to fix that issue. Whereas with fashion, usually fashion does not solve any issues. It's usually more of a convenience type of brand, but it all comes down to the way you position the feel and the image that your brand gives off. Your customers could very well go to the nearest convenience store and probably buy, a quick t-shirts, a pair of joggers, and it would do the same job, because at the end of the day, all you want to do is get dressed. But they won't have the same feel and the same look that your brand may give off. So absolutely, you want to focus on branding if you have a fashion e-commerce brand. To kind of expand on that point a little further, let's take an example of a very simple day-to-day item that most men probably wear, which is a simple pair of joggers. So when you think about a pair of joggers, then let's think about two brands that sell joggers. You have on one end Lululemon, and on the other one you have a brand like Gymshark. And you have very similar materials, very similar cut, very similar fits. And you look at a brand like Lululemon, and what these guys do is, who are they talking to with their brand, the type of images that they have, their marketing. It's for your average day-to-day male that, commutes probably pretty often. They commute back and forth to work. They want something that feels comfortable, but also looks good overall, right? And that all comes down to the fundamentals of a pair of joggers that are being marketed for this specific type of male. Whereas if you look at Gymshark, that has very similar pair of joggers, it'll be marketed very differently, because in this case, we want to appeal to an audience of gym enthusiasts. So a same product in two different scenarios, two different brands is being marketed to two very different type of customers. And this is why having a fashion brand, you want to focus on branding. So the first thing you obviously want to find whenever creating an e-commerce brand is product market fit, right? Which is a lot easier in other industries than it actually is within the fashion space. But within the fashion space, first of all, you want to make sure that people have a need for your style of clothing. Obviously, if you go with a specific style of clothing that is not trendy, and you're trying to create a trend, it may or may not work. But if you have a style of clothing that there's a demand for out there, then the next thing you want to create is the look and brand around that style of clothing. I just gave you an example earlier of how you could essentially mix and match, a specific product with two different messages, but it'll be up to you to see what feel you want to create around that. And that comes down to colors, the way you position the brand, the type of people and models that you use within your product shots, the way your website is laid out. All of these things will create this brand effects around your products. And as you'll grow, the brand will take more and more space over the products. Again, you look at a fashion brand, they don't hard sell the products. You don't just sell a pair of, joggers. You don't just sell a t-shirt. You sell an experience. So what you'll want to focus is on brand building. Brand building activities are the most long-term focused activities you can actually do within your business. They may not generate an immediate ROI like, paid advertising or direct hard selling would do, but they will help you in the long run create a sustainable business. And from that, I mean organic content. So organic content posting on TikTok and Instagram. And then what I also mean by that is influencer partnerships or an ambassador program, because you nurture connections with your customers and then you kind of extend your audience with your customers' audience. But ultimately, you always have to remember this simple fact and truth. 99% of the time, if you are a fashion brand store owner, people won't buy for your products, they'll buy for the experience that you've created around these products. So that's why it's very important that your brand is being followed and being congruent across all platforms, would it be on paid media, with your emails, or with your organic content strategy. You want to make sure that you follow a similar brand across all of these to make sure that you give off a similar message to your audience wherever place they may see you at. Now, if you're an e-commerce brand or store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to click on the first link in the description down below to book in a very short 15-minute demo call with our team. On that call, we'll take a look at your brand and see if we're a good fit to help you scale. And if that's the case, then we'll partner up together and do just that. And if not, and worst comes to worst, we'll leave you with a free action plan to implement on your own. On that note, make sure you check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips. And I'll see you guys in next video. Peace.